back for another episode of Get a Load of This. From the Silver Creek Studios, I'm Jared.
I am Ryan, and we are missing third wheel here.
Short a guy.
Yeah. Joe is indisposed at the moment. He's dealing with some family health issues, and he'll be back with us at some point. But for right now, he's taking care of his mama, who is not doing very well. So we wish her all the best. We're both atheists, so it's hard for us to wish our prayers and all that stuff. Yeah. But all I can offer is my best wishes.
Our thoughts are with him.
Hopes and thoughts, and and so if you are a believer, then throw a prayer towards Joe's mama, because she needs it. So, and we're gonna miss Joe until he gets back, and you're probably gonna miss him too, because I say all the time, I don't think we're nearly as funny without Joe. I know we're not.
No, you're right.
I know we're not. but we're gonna try, and we're gonna put some episodes out here, and hope we do our best here. We may have some other guests too in the meantime, but we fully expect for Big Joe to make a triumphant return at some point. So and then Jared going rogue and going off, and who this Bill guy is. I mean, I feel like Goldilocks coming in here. Someone's been sitting in my chair, man. What the
jealous
hell?
Much?
Well, no. It's fine, I guess.
No.
I just see how it is, man. I'm replaceable. Everybody's replaceable.
No, Bill stepped up and helped out on a week where we were probably going to go without an episode for at least a week. So
yeah.
I thought we'd have him in here and just shoot the shit for a while.
We can't keep our faithful fans waiting.
I know.
They need to have a taste of something, I suppose.
Yeah. We've all had somebody come up to us and say, "Hey, where's the latest episode?"
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Counting on that.
Definitely.
I need to mow my lawn.
Right. Yeah, no, Bill's welcome to come back anytime.
Yeah, we may have him in as a guest again.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm going to take him to task on a couple things.
All
I
right,
think he contradicted himself a little bit in that episode.
I had a couple people bring that up.
Yeah.
So, we're going to have to...
So he needed to be challenged a little bit. I don't think he challenged him enough.
No.
So we'll have to work on that.
That was too nice. It was his first time.
Yeah, you got to take it easy. You got to make him want to come back, I guess, right? So we're going to talk tonight about, we did bathroom etiquette.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good episode. It was funny. It was there were some pretty rough stories in there. This is another etiquette episode, but it has nothing to do with the bathrooms.
I don't think this will be as gross.
No, it should be pretty clean, but it's about just the etiquette of running into people or seeing someone.
Greeting.
Who do you greet? Do you greet? It could be in the office. It could be at the supermarket. It could be anywhere.
Yeah.
And do you run and hide?
Right.
Do you go to the bread aisle and duck?
Yeah.
And I have legitimately done that. Not necessarily the bread aisle, but I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to talk to them.
Right.
But there is, I don't know if there's any laws of that, but I'll give my sister a lot of credit on this. Rebecca came up with this idea. It's a pretty good one. I'm not sure what the catalyst for it was, but clearly she had a moment where she had to question that. But
so okay, let's just say we'll come up with a scenario. Let's say you are. Well, we'll start out at work. You're at work, and one of your coworkers that maybe you see a couple times a week comes down the hallway. What do you do?
Yeah, usually it depends. I mean, if I see them frequently, but I've never really had a conversation with them, it's usually the old nod, or it's how's it going? It's real simple like that. But if I talk to them somewhat regularly, then it's still the same. How's it going? Maybe it's a little louder, and I'm expecting a volley, right?
Yeah.
I'm expecting them to return with something. But there's a lot of people in my office that I don't know and I don't speak to regularly, but I see them all the time.
Yeah. And
those, it's the nod. It's like, hey,
right.
It's just the head bob or whatever.
Yeah.
And you move on. But it's challenging. The other thing is there's a cultural thing there too. I work with a lot of Middle Eastern folks, whether they're Pakistani or India or wherever they happen to be from, and the women in that culture, I don't know if don't flood us with emails on this, but I think the culture is that they're not supposed to make eye contact with men. Like if they were in India or they were in wherever, Saudi Arabia or Pakistan or that they don't have the same rights as American women or English women or Canadian or whatever, and they literally aren't supposed to make eye. So they walk by with their head down, and I've confirmed this with other people I
Really?
work
So
with too.
this would be like a practicing, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if that's a religious thing
I
or
don't think
just
it's a religious thing. I think it's just a cultural thing
Okay.
that they do. But it's, I mean, it doesn't bother me, but it is like, I'll still say like, hey, how's it going? And they walk by with their head down.
And you don't turn around and say, fuck you, bitch.
I'm talking to you. Not yet.
No?
Not yet. No,
Okay.
but I think it's interesting. And then there's other people that are, guys just like me that, there's one in particular that I'm thinking of right now that he's just a dick. And,
Just like you.
yeah, well, and maybe that's why we don't get along, because I don't like him and he don't like me, and we know it. But I always say, "What's going on?" I say, "Hey," or whatever. And there was one time, it's probably been a couple years, where I walked by him in the hallway. I said, "Hey, what's going on?" And he didn't say a word and walked right by me. We made eye contact. I mean, he definitely heard me. He definitely saw me, and he walked right by me. I'll just say his name's Bob. And I turned around. I was like, "Oh, great, Bob. Good talking to you, man." And I'm yelling at the back of his
You're
head.
that guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, "Dude, I'm going to call your ass out on that shit." And he just kept walking and never turned around. And I know he heard me then. And let's just say our relations didn't get any better following that.
Can't imagine why.
Yeah. Well,
That's funny.
that is the way I am. I'm going to call someone out if they're being an ass. And I expect the same. If someone thinks I'm a dick,
So
tell me.
Is there anybody like a Bob that you just flat out won't look at them, or not that if they said hi, you wouldn't say hi, but you don't make eye contact. You don't expect them to. You just keep on walking.
Nobody in the workplace, and that's just workplace diplomacy, I guess. And everybody in my building works for my company. So maybe if I was in in another environment where there was different companies, it'd be different. But you never know who you may need down the road, and or who they may report to, or who they may be friends with. So you try to keep the pleasantries alive with everybody.
I generally,
except for Bob.
That's right. Fuck Bob.
Fuck Bob. Yeah.
I generally, if it's somebody I know, or like you said, you don't really talk to them, but you see them all the time.
Right.
They'll get the head nod, or I kind of do the frumpy mouth, kind of, not a smile exactly, but you know what I'm doing.
Smirk.
Curl that upper lip.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
And, and make sure you make eye contact and just kind of, you don't even have to say hi, but sometimes if it's somebody you see maybe every day, but you still don't talk to them or know them, but you see them all the time.
Right.
They get a hi.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm coming into the building, everybody's coming in, everybody's going their separate ways, people you don't necessarily work with, I'm going right on by. I'm not I mean, if I see somebody I know, sure, okay. But most of those people I don't know, I don't work with, I won't see them until the end of the day.
Yeah.
They get no greeting from me.
See, I try to avoid confrontation on my way into the office. If I'm walking up to the doors and I see someone else's, there's a chance that we're going to approach the door, I'll slow down my stride just so or I'll speed up just to try to, because I'd rather not, especially in the mornings, I'd rather just not talk to them. Not being a dick, I just don't want to talk. I'm not in the mood right now. I know I'm going to have to talk to the security guard because he talks to me every damn day when I get there. He's a nice guy. He's bored. He sits there and watches people come and go all day. But, I know I got to talk to that guy. I just don't, it's the morning.
Right.
I don't want to have any other confrontation.
You didn't get your coffee yet?
Yeah. No, I just, I don't know.
See, to me,
I avoid elevators with people in them too. Like if I walk up to the elevators and I see that there's like two or even one person, I'll take the stairs. If I walk up to it and there's nobody standing there, I'm like, I'll take the elevator.
Yeah.
But I don't like being in elevators with groups of people either.
I work on the. Maybe I'm not allowed to talk about this. I don't know. I'm on the third floor, but
I thought it was an underground bunker.
Well, when we, it's 3 floors down. So that's 2 flights of stairs. And so I take the stairs every day. I don't take the elevator unless...
Because you're an athlete.
Well, it's the only exercise I get. Walking into the building from my car and taking the stairs is the only excuse I have for... Yeah, but... So yeah, generally I don't take the elevator. I will if I'm going anywhere higher than that. If I'm going from the main floor to the 4th or 5th or whatever floor, I'll take the elevator. Because otherwise I'm out of breath and winded, and I look like a jackass when I get to whoever's desk I'm going to.
Yeah, when you're in a flop sweat whenever you get there. Yeah, it's never good.
Yeah. But I take the stairs. But part of that is also I don't like
people.
Not that I can't be in an elevator with other people, but it's a little bit awkward, and I might as well take the stairs.
Yeah, I was at this work thing I just got back from, and I got in the elevator at the hotel this morning, and it was It was actually as I was getting off the elevator, another gentleman was walking down the hallway, and I knew he was with our group. I don't know his name. I had just seen him for the past 2 days. He was with the same group that I was with, and I'm like, I was 95% sure he was, but I was like, do I say anything? I don't know, whatever. Well, anyway, we ended up walking like right next to each other, and clearly he was like, oh, I know this guy. He doesn't know me. So now I'm like, well, what do I say? I'm like, oh, hey, how's it going? When's your flight today? I'm like, it's just small talk. I'm like, it's just awkward small talk that, I don't know. It's just, I don't like doing it.
So I'm notoriously bad with people's names. My dad was, I am. That memory, whatever that function is in your brain, does not work with me. It can be people that I know fairly well, but, and I still will struggle with their name when I first greet them, or in a meeting or something. I had that one time. We were on a conference call, and there's like 15 people in the room, and they asked me to go around. Who's all there with you? And I'm going around the room name by name, and each person, I'm like having a mini panic attack that I'm gonna get this guy's name wrong.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
And I did the one. I'm like looking at him, and I'm snapping like, I'm sorry, shit. And the guy sat next to me at work. I'm like, sorry,
it's
dude.
that guy I call Buddy all the time. Hey, Buddy. Hey, how you doing, pal?
That's right. But yeah, to me, the awkward thing is people that you do know, that you do talk to somewhat often. Yeah. And then you see them in the hallway. It's like, are you obligated to stop and talk to this person, or you just be like, hey, what's up, and keep on going? Are they going to feel it's awkward?
There has to be a casual, at least a greeting, a hello or whatever. But yeah, no, you shouldn't have to stop and talk to them. I dread that too. That I don't,
the whole like, let's catch up on our weekend here.
There's a few people that don't. Most of them don't work with me anymore, but that I enjoyed that with. I'd see them like, oh, hey man, what's going on? We haven't talked in a while. But yeah, really, hallway conversations. I don't dig that. I mean,
so there's a guy I work with. He's a listener too. And I won't. He probably wouldn't care if I use his name, but I won't, just in case. Anyway, we were just talking about this the other day, where he won't say "How's it going?" or "How are you?" or whatever, because he doesn't want the response that person might give. So he's fine with saying hi, or whatever. But any kind of question that they might reply with a lengthy answer, he won't use.
That's funny.
So he'll never say what's up, and he doesn't want them to say it either, because he doesn't want to have to answer or whatever. So I'm gonna start fucking with him and just saying, how's it going?
How's it going? You can answer how's it going. That's fine. You can say, oh, it's good, man. How are you? Done. You're in, you're out, right? If you say what's up, you can't say good. Doesn't work, right?
You can say nothing, not much.
So my mother brought this up to me. She's like, what is it with people saying living the dream? Just living the dream. That's all everybody says all the time.
Cliche.
But it's like when people say, oh, hey, what's up? You don't want to go into a diatribe about what's really up, right? So a lot of people they find whatever, just living the dream, just another day in paradise, all those bullshit things that people say. But apparently it's driving my mother nuts. And I never really thought about it until she brought it up that that is somewhat annoying.
Yeah,
but I say it too, so I can't. I'm hypocritical.
Yeah, I don't think I say it, but I'm sure I say other cliched phrases like that. But I know my nephew, when he was little, probably like 6 years old or so, he started. So there's kind of the two main greetings: "What's up?" and "How's it going?" So you'd say "What's up?" You might say "Nothing." "How's it going?" You'd say "Good."
Sure.
He would mix them every time. So what's up?
Good.
How's it going? Nothing. And it's just a little kid doing it. It just cracked me up every time. But yeah. So I had a guy at work the other day who's kind of a notorious long-winded talker anyway. But I was just getting to work. I'm going up the stairs, and he's coming down, and I see him. Hey, how's it going? I made the mistake of asking that question.
Well, you asked.
And he replied with, oh man, I survived a car accident this weekend.
Jesus.
And which at first I was kind of like, wow, what the hell? What happened?
Does he always have a story like that?
Well,
I got mauled by a bear last week.
Kind of. And then his surviving a car accident was his car slid into a tree and the front bumper got a little wrinkled. Oh. He survived. So
Poor baby.
I was like, you fucker, you got me sitting here wondering how you survived an accident, and it turned out it was nothing.
The fender bender.
And but he made that story take 10 minutes. Like, we literally stood in the corridor of the stairwell for 10 minutes.
Maybe you should respond with a bear attack. And say, well, I got attacked by a bear. Really? No, there's no fucking bears here. Of course I didn't.
But anyway,
there are those people that always have a story. Maybe I'm that guy. I might be that guy. I don't know. I'm a bit long-winded. You know, I usually have a lot to say, as you may already understand. But no, the other the grocery store one, or just the public place one.
Yeah, right? I was going to ask, do you mind running into people in a public place like that?
Depends on who they are. Okay. I mean, there's been times where
Generally, it doesn't matter who it is for me. I mind.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, there's been times where I've seen people at the Cardinal game or people that I haven't seen in forever. Yeah. And, and if I like them, then it's a pleasant surprise. And it's like, hey, how's it going, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Whatever we talk about. Oh, yeah, I saw on Facebook you're doing this or, that or whatever. So that's welcome. And then there's other times where it's like, yeah, I don't have any desire, even though I may not have seen him in a while. I got nothing to say. I got nothing to really offer. And I tried to. That's when I hide in the bread aisle, or I hide wherever I can.
Right.
But that's kind of the beauty of Facebook now too. Our social media, these people that you're not really friends with them anymore. I mean, they're your friends on Facebook, and they were your friends at one time, but you hardly ever see them. Probably still consider them friends, but you can keep up with them. So that when you do bump into them, you're like, oh, yeah, I saw you had a baby, or I saw, congratulations, I saw you sent a kid off to college or whatever. That's nice. It's nice to be able to still remain somewhat connected. But yeah, I will avoid people though. Yeah. As well. So
I don't know that I would avoid necessarily. I'm not hiding behind the DVDs or whatever. Right. But yeah, I generally don't want to. I would not go down. If I knew somebody was down an aisle that I knew and didn't want to run into him, I would not go down that aisle until later. But
shit, I did that with Joe the other day. We saw each other in one aisle at the grocery store. This is no shit. And it was early in the trip through the grocery store, and I'm like, well, we're going to see each other again like 30 more times because we're on the same
that's the worst.
Trajectory here. I know. So I intentionally kind of went another way. I love Joe, but I was like, I got nothing else to say to you. Yeah. So I'm going to slow my roll. I'm going to go down this aisle, and then you go, you're one ahead of me now, and it's good. Yep. We may cross paths again down the road, but
that's the worst when you run into somebody. Maybe you even have that a short conversation, and then you keep running into them, and you inevitably look in each other's cart to see what they were buying, and
got a lot of Pop-Tarts there, huh?
Yeah, right. Pancake syrup, huh? All right.
Yeah,
but, that's pretty awful.
It's awkward.
But I don't like running into people I went to high school with. I don't know. I just don't want to deal with having
don't have anything to
catch
say.
Up. Yeah. Oh, how's it been going?
Right.
Where are you working now? Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I don't know. Maybe I'm an impersonal person, but if they're the right person and I like them, then I'm all over it. But
there is something to that really friendly person, but in a good friendly way, not annoyingly friendly. Just somebody that makes you feel better when you see them, and it's like, oh, I'm really glad they said hi to me.
Right.
So maybe I could be that person, and I'm not. I'm just a dick. But
yeah, probably. I'm the same way though. I'm not any better. But
yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's what my sister was getting at whenever I forget what the catalyst was, like I said, for her bringing that up, but it's probably a workplace thing or something like that. But I think we all struggle with that in the workplace. It's like there's all these acquaintances and you just don't know. Nobody knows the right way to handle it.
So I'm kind of awkward with the janitorial staff. Like, I mean, I'm not awkward with them, but I don't know. Am I supposed to be really friendly and, hey, how's it going, Frank?
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Can you get this trash can over here? Thanks.
No, I think
there's a doozy in there, or whatever. Or do you just do the whole head nod? Hey, what's up? Or just ignore them. Let them do their job. They're letting you do your job. That's
the stance I'm going to take on it. I'm probably going to sound like, oh, well, I'm too good to. Yeah. That's not it at all. I just they're there to do their job. They don't care about me. I really don't care much about them. I mean, if there's people, not just janitorial, I go down to the cafeteria at my office to eat. And the people down there, I see them every day. They make my food.
Yeah.
And there's some that I'm always very friendly with, and there's others that they're just not that friendly, so I'm not.
Yeah.
You know, but I make it a point to be. Well, number one, they're making my food, so I try to be nice to them. But
yeah, definitely with the guys making your food, guys and gals. Yeah, I try to when they hand it to me, it's like, thanks, I appreciate it. You know?
Yeah. Thanks for not spitting it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I don't, with the janitorial staff, the guys that clean the shitters, no, I don't really pay much attention.
They tend to come in later in the day, and where I work, man, so many people get there ridiculously early in the morning, and they're done by 2:00.
Really?
And so I tend to work a little bit later than them. But, you know, there were times a long time where I was always the last person there, because everybody else in my area or department, everybody else was done. And so, you know,
you got to put away the launch codes. Well, you have to do all that stuff.
Right. Yeah. For a long time, I would, you know, acknowledge the cleaning staff or whatever and nod or whatever, say, hey. But that was about it. And I considered that cordial and polite and, you know. But then there was like some day where somebody else was also working late, and I guess they were like best friends with the cleaning crew and just knew them all by name and, hey, how's it going? And here, you know, and I was like, oh shit, I must be a big asshole. Like, I don't reach out to them at all.
Elitist. Yeah. They hate you.
So I've tried to get a little friendlier.
Well, I also have a bit of animosity. There's been things stolen in my office, and one of them was recently this one was stupid. I think it was a charging cable or something like that, or but it was like an iPhone.
And you
charging
instantly
cable.
blame the cleaning crew?
I didn't. It wasn't my cable. It was someone else's. But yeah, I mean, that's the only logical. You know, I have an office, and this person who had their cable, it's Corey, when it was stolen.
What's up, Corey?
Yeah, he's a regular listener. And but yeah, it was taken, and his door's locked. Like he leaves, he locks his door. So the only people that open it are the cleaning people that come in and empty his trash. And so it had to have been, right?
I guess, yeah.
And then I guess it's been a year, maybe 2 years, that we had one of the executive assistants left her wedding ring on her desk. She was lotioning her hands as ladies tend to do, and she had taken off her rings, and she left her wedding ring sit on the desk and forgot about it.
Yeah.
Came back the next morning and it was gone and never to be seen again.
Wow.
So, you know, that's also out in the open. She didn't have an office to lock a door or whatever. So that could have been anybody, but there's not many people that are allowed to. We have keep cards that, you know, you have to badge in and badge out. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they're fine
tough
people.
to be friendly if that
the
shit was going
majority of
on.
them are fine individuals, but yeah, I don't know. Just don't.
Bad apple.
Yeah, I have no reason. Really.
So what would you do if you had let's say a beef with somebody, but you ran into their spouse? Are you friendly with them? Do you say hi? Do you get the head nod, or do you treat them the way?
Well, I know who you're talking about.
Well, I just mean in general.
But with that instance, the one that you're talking about, which a couple people that are listening might know who we're talking about too, I would be friendly with the spouse because I got no beef with them. You do.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but no, but I got no reason.
Yeah,
you know, and I've seen the boy, you know, and I've been cordial to him.
Yeah.
So, but I guess it all depends on the circumstances.
Yeah, I guess
right?
It does depend.
You know, I mean, there's, you know, it's different every single time. You know, all it takes is one bad interaction, and it's like, all right, fuck that guy, he's dead to me. You know, I have no use for that person anymore. You know, it all depends though. There's not many people where I'm just like, all right, they're dead to me. You know, I'm done. I'm done with them. They're out there though. There's a few.
Oh yeah, sure.
but there's not many. It takes a lot to, you know, I'm a pretty angry person, and you know, but there's still, it's a short list of people that I've
had a couple people at work, not that I necessarily work with, but where we didn't necessarily have a problem or anything. It was just kind of, you get that vibe that they're not into you and you're not into them, and you just kind of go about your business. They might get a head nod if that, but after a while, you almost don't even do that anymore, which is fine, you know, whatever. At some point, you just kind of move on. But then later, that person maybe is friends with somebody that you're friends with, and so you start seeing them more. Right. And then it's like, oh, now I have to talk. Yeah. Like, God damn. Yeah. I kind of thought that guy was a dick, but now I got to be nice to him. But
that's kind of how we became friends. You know? I was like, who's that guy? I don't know about him. It's like, oh fuck, I got to talk to him now. What? And look what happened. You know,
his kid's friend with my kid. Oh fuck. Yep. You never know when you're going to start a podcast with somebody.
Right. Stars aligned, I guess, right?
Yeah.
No, there's not direct neighbors, but people that live on my street. You wave as you drive by or whatever. And there's a few examples there where people have been on the list of they're just written off. They're fucking dead to me. If you drive by someone and they know that you live 6 houses down or whatever, and in my neighborhood, everybody waves, right? We live in fucking rural Illinois, right? So everybody waves, and people that don't wave, well, you get a few shots. I mean, the first couple times, well, maybe they didn't see me or whatever. Right. But then it's like when we make eye contact and you still can't even just give me a nod or something, fuck you, man. I'm not going to go, it's just a wave. Yeah. It's just a casual hello.
So
that's it.
I generally do that. Maybe not a full wave, but like the 2-finger kind of point or whatever, hey. And I'll do that to any of our neighbors as we're driving by or whatever. But I've been in the car with my wife when she's driving. I'm in the passenger seat, and I'll notice another car coming past, wave, and she doesn't do anything. She doesn't see them, look at them, wave or anything.
Yeah.
I know, and I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Why didn't you wave? She's like, what? I didn't see him. Like,
well, can she see
why didn't you see that? She has a hard time seeing over the dash and the steering wheel. No.
You're lucky she stays on the road.
Yeah. She's like, I'm looking ahead. I'm driving. I'm like, they saw you. You could have seen them. Fucking wave.
Right.
But I think she normally does. But every once in a while, more often than I should, I catch her not waving to someone. I'm like, Jesus, they're going to think we're assholes.
Well, I have a problem because there's a certain individual who drives a Chevy Equinox. Okay?
Okay.
Chevy Equinox is a very common vehicle. There's a shitload of them out there. And for whatever reason, a lot of them are gray. And so a close friend of mine drives a gray Chevy Equinox. And there's got to be a dozen of them in my neighborhood. And so every time I'm driving down the main road into the subdivision, I see one, I just wave like like crazy. Right. And 9 times out of 10, it's not the person.
Right,
so everybody that drives an Equinox in my subdivision probably thinks I'm just some wacky
you're the nicest guy ever.
But I'm just covering my ass because that one time out of 10 that it's the person I'm expecting it to be.
Yeah, I think we've all had that where somebody has the same car and you see him maybe not in your subdivision but just in town or something. Oh, hey, there's Frank. Oh shit, not Frank. Right. Sorry.
See, Mike, my other on the other side of me, he put he's got like a roof rack for a kayak or some shit. Sticks out like a sore thumb. I'm like, I know exactly when I can see him from a mile away. I'm like, that's Mike. I know exactly what it is. So like, I appreciate that kind of stuff. Yeah. Maybe you put a sticker on it or something like that. Right. Have a broken windshield, something that makes you stand out. I just need something to give me a clue.
Yep.
But I don't. Maybe it's just me that it's that important that someone waves back. Maybe it's just weird shit. Maybe it doesn't. I don't think it happens in like urban.
These people don't realize they're burning bridges with you when they don't wave back.
Probably not. Yeah. But like where my sister lives, I don't know that they wave. They probably wave to people they know, but they just I don't know.
See, I remember it.
I always thought it was like a country thing.
I was going to say, as a kid in Tennessee, where my grandparents lived, I remember going down there for vacation and just noticing every single person waves. Or actually, that's where I got the 2-finger point salute thing. Everybody got the top hand on their steering wheel, and they just raised 2 fingers, and everyone. And it was like, I thought it was so weird. My grandpa was doing it. Tennessee, yeah. My grandpa would wave. I'm like,
little do you know that
you know that guy? He's like,
some white supremacy sign or something like that.
Right? Yeah.
What did you learn?
But yeah, it was so weird to me. But now, I guess I do it too. So
yeah,
you're just being cordial, I guess. I think I don't know if that is that I want to be nice or cordial. It's that I don't want to be thought of as an asshole. So it's like, well, I better wave or whatever. Right. But
it's freaking me out here. We have an in-studio live audience. I wouldn't call her a guest. No, she's definitely
not contributing.
I don't even know if she's much of an audience, but your dog is terrified of me.
She is. Our dog hates Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan's a scary guy.
Well, it's one of the only dogs. Well, it's the only dog that I've met in my life that doesn't care for me at all.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I've been bitten by dogs, but that was like I was doing stupid shit and whatever. But yeah, I mean, I've never had a dog that I couldn't win over unless it was spastic or something.
You
like
talk
that.
Loud.
Yes, I do.
And back when she first met you, you would pound on the table and like make a point and just
true.
be. So she was like, "What the fuck is this guy?"
Yeah.
But now I think she's calmed down just enough, and we let her in the studio here
because she has no choice. She wants to be around humans, and we're the only ones here.
Yeah, that's right.
And so she's like, I guess I'll deal with this fat prick. Listen to his loud ass.
Notice she's pointed right at the door.
Like she's ready to bail at any moment. No, it's weird though. It's weird to have her in here because she usually avoids me like the plague.
Right.
But oh well. Anyway,
she's coming around on you.
Yeah, I guess. So,
well, we probably beat that to death.
What else you want to talk about?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. We
we don't have to get into details, but you went on a work trip, right?
I did.
And some people would just love that. Get out of town, go to, they know they're going to get to go to some bars or something while they're out, on a trip.
It's not terrible.
Some people hate it though.
Yeah, I mean,
where do you fall?
I don't hate it.
Careful, you got coworkers.
Yeah, but it is work, and it's tiring and it's long days, and even though you're doing a social event, in the evening or whatever, you're still networking and in many cases talking about work, and they're long days. And furthermore, you're not sleeping in your bed.
Yeah.
I usually don't have a problem. That first night's always a little tricky, falling asleep in a strange place. But they're long days. And then today, flying and getting up early and packing all my shit up and checking out of the hotel, and I had to go to half a day of meetings and just dragging ass, and then having to take an Uber ride for it seemed like forever to get to the airport, and then a flight. It's a long, drawn out day, and everybody does it.
Yeah.
I mean, not everybody, but a lot of people do it, and it's just old hat to them. I guess maybe I just don't do it enough that it kind of wears me out or whatever.
Yeah.
But there are perks to it too. Like I told you that I got to go to the AT&T Stadium last night.
Cowboy Stadium, right?
Cowboy Stadium. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but it is an amazing piece of architecture, if you want to call it that.
$1 billion stadium, right?
Yeah, I forget. I think they said that the scoreboard, just the screen is like $45 million or something like that. The scoreboard costs more than the original Texas Stadium, the original Arlington Stadium. Right? So yeah, and they're thinking about already replacing the screens on, is what they were saying. Yeah, because I guess they're coming up on 8 or 10 years old. I mean, but I'm like, how much better can they get than that? It's ridiculous. But Jerry Jones, a lot of people don't like him, but he did it right, man. He's got his owner's suite. Well, it covers a big portion of one side of the field, but they call it the owner's perch, and it's just like a little office that juts out, and it's right at the 50-yard line. It's not huge, and it's glass. I'm sure it's soundproof too. And it's only big enough for a handful of people, but it's where him and his sons sit. And he'll go out with the masses and into his box, or he'll even go down to the seats or the sideline. But he's got this little perch that is perfectly situated. And I'm like, that's where I want to sit, just for a half, or just for a quarter. And it's really cool. And just the magnitude of it all. It's such a huge stadium. And then they said that what they had the largest attendance they had, I think, was like 108,000 people.
Wow.
Like they regularly pull 90,000 for Cowboy games. Jeez. That's normal. But then they'll have wrestling was a big one, they said. And they had, I think George Strait's final concert was there, and he had like 108,000 people. And WrestleMania was a big one too. It was up in the 100,000s. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man! Could you imagine that?
So were you guys doing a tour or something, or what was?
Yeah, it was a tour and then a dinner event.
Yeah,
and, we were in the what the hell is it called? The DraftKings Sports Lounge, which is down on the field level. And that's another cool thing about the stadium that I learned is that I don't know if it's the only one, but it was the first one where the teams they enter through these lounges.
Yeah,
they enter and leave the field at the beginning and the half and the end of the game, and they go through the fans, right? And they have some separation or whatever, so they can't get beers thrown on them. But they enter and leave the field through the people, the masses, right? Which is kind of neat, you know? And anyway, so DraftKings, this place where we're at, that's where the visiting team enters and leaves through. So it was neat. It was neat. It was open bar, free food.
Yeah,
you can't really complain. And just getting to see and have kind of that full access to the field. Unfortunately, though, the turf wasn't down on the fucking field.
Right.
So that the star, that's what everybody wants to see is the big star on the 50-yard line. Wasn't there? They're apparently putting down natural grass for a soccer game or something. So a little frustrating, but still a cool place to visit. Got to go to the locker room, the home locker room, and the cheerleaders' locker room, which was for you. I don't know what people would expect. I don't know what I expected either, but it was pretty nice for just a cheerleader locker room. You know, it was neat. There's a lot of cool shit, and they had what was it? They had I want to say they had like 3 or 4 different fields. So it's all artificial turf, and they have them in rows, and they're all just lined up in the whatever you call it, in the belly of this beast of a stadium. And they come in, I think they're 10-yard swatches or whatever, and the whole width of the field. And they have them for college football, they have them for obviously the Cowboys game, and they have them for Texas.
A rolled up field?
Well, in pieces, right? So but they just roll them up, and then whenever they lay them down, they literally Velcro together. Wow! And they put down some padding and stuff like that, and it was cool. I mean, and then these rolls of turf were everywhere. Yeah, right. They would have to be. Yeah. So we walked around the belly of this thing, and everywhere you looked, there was another roll of turf. It was pretty cool. Yeah. They said it takes about 5 hours to change out a field. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, that is pretty impressive. It's not as cool as Arizona Stadium, though. Where it slides out. Yeah, they roll the whole friggin' field out into the parking lot. That's cool. I'd love to see that. That'd be really neat. But someday. Yeah, I make a point of not traveling for work. Like, if there's any inclination that I might need to at some point, I can put the kibosh on that. Yeah. No, that's going to interfere with my work duties here. No, I won't be able to make that. I just really have no interest in, because 9 times out of 10, it's bullshit. You don't need to be there. It was a waste of a trip. You could have accomplished it over the phone or in an email. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it depends on what you're doing. I agree. It depends on your job. With mine now that I'm a remote employee, so most of my team, all of my team is not where I am. So it'll mean a lot more traveling, and it's fine. It just has to be, there's a happy medium is what I can't do more than, once every couple months is tops. There's guys that travel every 3 times a month or whatever, every week. And I'm like, no way in hell I would do that. It stresses me out. Just even the packing and unpacking and just planning how, I gotta leave at this time to get to the airport in time. And a friend of ours, your neighbor. Yeah, he's gone all the time. He travels every week, 4 or 5 days a week. I could not do that. Yeah, he's gone all the time. But he's been doing it so long, I guess he's kind of used to it or whatever. Yeah, you get a routine, I guess. And it's gotten better for him. Earlier on, he used to drive everywhere. But in his circle went up to like Omaha and down to Tulsa or whatever. Now his area has gotten bigger, but he gets to fly. Yeah, places. So it's improved for him, I think. But now whenever I get to go to San Diego, which that happens, that's always I always like going out there just because it's San Diego, right? Dallas is, it's all right. It was hotter than shit down there, 110 damn degrees, and it was. I don't know. There's just not a lot going on in Dallas. Yeah. I mean, maybe there is, and I just don't have the time when I'm down there on business to go see those things. But I was down there one time. I went to where JFK was shot. That was kind of cool. I went to that museum. I went to the that would be neat. Yeah, I'd like to see that. That was pretty cool. But I don't know what else is there. I don't know. Well, we want to hear from you. Tell us how you greet people at work or the grocery store or in the car, or whatever. Are you an introvert and you don't want to make eye contact? Right. Or are you one of these social people that want to get out there and wave and say hey and catch up on your weekend? Just made me think of another one. Like when you're in your car and you pull into the parking lot at the grocery store or whatever, and you see someone else is like, oh shit, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to look at my phone so I don't, just wait until they get in their car, wait until they get out of eye shot, and I thought I was antisocial. It's not all the time. It's just certain people, Okay. Now people are going to see me in my car looking at my phone thinking, oh, he's avoiding me, that prick, fucker. Well, maybe. I don't know. Well, how can they get a hold of us? Carrier pigeon. No, you can look us up on the social media stuff at Load This Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We've had a little gap in the tape there, too. Got to get some stuff out there on the social media stuff. Yeah. So we'll be sure to put some content out there. Maybe we'll go back to doing a survey or something like that. We did do a YouTube video for the first time. Yeah, there's a new YouTube, an actual video. It's not just... So while our podcast has been on YouTube for a while now, I went ahead and posted an actual video
So check that out.
But if you're expecting to see the finished product, you're going to be sadly disappointed.
I did drop the ball. We had some, I'll call technical difficulties that prevented us from finishing that video. But it's still entertaining.
It's pretty good, yeah.
It was our first go at it. Next time it'll be better. Yeah. We'll come up with something.
Yeah, no, it's, so what is it? Get a load of this podcast on YouTube. Or send us an email with anything you want us to talk about, or if you want to tell us to fuck off and die, you can do that. Load this podcast at gmail.com. And other than that, we'll wrap it up here. And keep Joe and his family in your thoughts and prayers if that's what you choose to do. We hope to have him back with us soon. And until next time.
As always,
fuck the Cubs.
Right. Until next time, I'm Jared.
I'm Ryan.
And get a load of this.